In today's episode, I take a look at a couple of dollar pairs, the Fiber and the Aussie, and also some setups on Pound Aussie Dollar, Aussie Swiss Franc, and CADJPY. As always, we also take a look at some of the best trades from our Discord trading room. Enjoy. Welcome guys to another weekly market review. I don't want to waste any time this week. I'm going to jump straight into things. Last week we started looking for some reversals on the dollar after being very bearish on the dollar, and I'm just going to run through a couple of dollar pairs today, and the first one is going to be EURUSD, and I'm looking at the EURUSD, and we did form a bit of a flip zone setup here. We had this resistance, and then we had the market do a bit of a consolidation, and then we broke through. So next week what I'm going to be looking for is for the market to ideally make a bit of a corrective pattern back into this area, and hopefully we'll be able to get a short. I'm not really sure how far this is going to go. This might just be a bit of a correction before heading higher, or it could be a bit of a bigger move, but ideally this is what I'll be looking for. There is a second scenario. If I do see the market maybe coming lower and then doing a bit of a consolidation and then impulsing up, maybe I'll stay out of its way. It could potentially make a bit of a 3-drive pattern. So if we do break these highs, then I will start looking for shorts again at this level. This is actually a bit of a liquidity point if you zoom out that I marked off. But right now this area does look quite good. So this will be my ideal scenario, is just the corrective price action into this area to look for the short. Now also looking at Aussie dollar, US dollar, this is also one I like for potential shorts. It's quite similar to the Euro USD though. We had this resistance level, broke through, we had the consolidation, then we broke back. So again, if we find corrective price action, and I'll look to take the Aussie dollar. I probably like this one more than the Euro. It's normally a bit easier to get into as well. And then again, it might just be a small move to fill this level, or we could have the bigger move to this target. I'll actually just zoom out a little bit so you guys can see that ultimately this is going to be my target. I think we should get there quite easily once we get the correction. But in a similar breath, this could also make a bit of a 3-drive pattern. And again, if this level doesn't hold, then I'll definitely start looking for shorts again at the level a little bit higher. But like I said, as things stands right now, those zones that got created do look quite tempting, and I think they might be strong enough to take this market down, at least for this move, if not for the bigger move. All right, then Pound Aussie Dollar, we had this big drop in the market, and now we've got this bit of an impulse move, and I believe we're busy making a bit of a corrective pattern over here before ultimately going higher, and we're going to look for trading opportunities in this area. So jumping down to the forward time frame, we had the market clear these highs at the top here. We took the liquidity, and any sort of corrective price action back into this breaker block. This is the last bearish block before the market ran these highs. I'll look to short the market, and I'll hopefully this market will drop to at least this 50% retrace to form a bit of a flag correction. And once we get there, then I'll switch my bias to long, and hopefully they will catch the move higher. But yeah, any corrective price action here, I'll look at this level, and I'll look on the lower time frames for entries. Now, Aussie dollar Swiss franc, this is a setup we actually started discussing in June already. After this drop, we marked off this level, and we got our shorts running from here. This market is really slow, or this instrument's really slow, but it doesn't matter, which it makes it actually quite a lot easier to get into. And if this market drops, I've got a revised target. This first target will now be my final target because this market is quite slow. It could go a lot lower, but I'll be happy with profit over here. And if we do find a move next week back into this area, we'll have a similar setup like we had over here. And over here, I'll look to add to the shorts to hopefully have 2 positions running for this target. So still one we're running, and still one on our watch list for potential entries. And lastly, just CADJPY. We also covered this in last week's episode. This setup is still valid for me. And we have got this flip zone level over here. The market had resistance, had the big distribution, and then it broke down. And if the market gets back to this area again, I'll look to short the market. We also covered the Swiss franc JPY last week. This was a similar setup, but this one already triggered. So we had a nice little trade on this one. And, similar to this, I'm expecting the market to react off this level on CADJPY, and hopefully we can find one more move lower, at least to clear these lows, and maybe a little bit lower. But yeah, those are my setups for next week, guys. I'll see you all in the trading room. Good luck.